Hey, welcome.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Fred.
This is. I thought you were going to finish it. KevinandFred.com.
Oh, got it.
Kevin,
I thought you were going to say Kevin and.
We should actually call this is the One Thing Bookclub.com.
One Thing Book Club, because we are talking about The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan.
Absolutely.
And I think this
it's
is
the
like
one thing we want to talk about.
number 7 or something, and we're not stopping until we get through the entire book.
because we're going to continue to talk about this one thing.
Right now, we're continuing on with the big 4 lies. There's actually 6 of them, but I just like to every day, like on that number, I like to say it's the 4th big one. Because it is. It's called Willpower is Always on Will Call.
Yeah.
This one, you should know a lot about this one, in fact, because you're the grumpiest person at the end of the day that I've ever met in my entire life. And after you've been around a crowd of people where you've like gone and given all your energy, you're like the nastiest person to be around. So this is your chapter. I'm just gonna let you take over from here.
Wow. The reality is.
Anytime I know it, you know it's true when it gets read. Just for the record.
No, catch me on like the 3rd day of family reunion or mega agent camp.
Yeah, or 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a regular day.
On a Tuesday. You definitely don't want to run into me after being in big crowds for that many days in a row. But seriously, the reality is we wake up and we've got this battery, right? We've got this battery essentially, and at the beginning of the day we have the most willpower. That's why if you read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and part of the energy plan is to get up and do what in the morning? Work out, pray or meditate, spend time with your family, and lead generate. The most important thing, right, in your business, lead generate.
And check Facebook,
right? Because that's when your willpower is there. The reality is as you stay awake longer, your willpower will wane. That's why it's harder to make good decisions about food or working out or staying focused, making lead generation phone calls or whatever the case is. That's why Fred and I work very hard to do interviews that are important interviews or important meetings earlier in the day when our willpower has not already waned, because we want to be focused on that thing that's the most important thing in the moment. And you can't do that at the end of the day. You just can't.
You know, one of my favorite things in the entire book actually is the example that is used in this chapter about willpower is not always on will call. And I'm not going to go through all of it, but it's a section called Default Judgments on page 68. And essentially, some researchers at Stanford and another university looked at, this is another country outside the United States, but they looked at the court rulings in this one particular court on parolees. Basically, people were coming up for parole in this court, and they were making a decision on whether they should, get paroled or they should go back and finish the rest of their term or whatever. And it was crazy to see that right before the breaks, early in the morning, immediately after lunch, there was time periods where there was a higher number of people that got paroled than later in the day, or when people were just, literally they were just drained.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And it's just the natural cause of who we are. Like, that's why we need to eat every couple hours, because at the end of the day, we need something to give us more energy, because our willpower is not on willpower.
It's funny, I follow Tim Ferriss on Twitter, and yesterday, which will be about 3 weeks ago by the time you read this, if you follow Tim Ferriss on Twitter, he's interesting, but he tweeted a link about a study that had to do with glucose levels, which come from food, and how at the end of the day, what it does to our discipline and to our ability to make good choices later on in the day. It was very interesting. In fact, I meant to send it to Gary and Jay, and which I'll go do that now.
What time is it? It's getting kind of late.
My willpower's done.
Yeah, so's your tongue.
I'm done.
It's all. We gotta go. We'll see you back here next week.